Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, just wait a minute. I'm going to put on my stopwatch. So you need to be monitoring your time as well. Okay, so you need to take note of the time. Your presentation should be finished by about quarter past, you know, maybe 10 past
दिखाई दे आपको बढ़िया
12.
12, 10 plus.
Because you get 20
Complete
minutes, then 10 minutes discussion.
चालू करो
Okay, you can start when you're ready.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
गुड मॉर्निंग
My name is Pooja, and she is my partner Sophia. Here we would like to talk about seminar presentation. My seminar presentation topic is will investment in poor countries bring development? So I would like to ask some question. What do you mean by poor countries? Tell me. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Coventry has been the countries that lack of facility to and just that
Okay. Yeah.
50%
What do you mean by poor countries?
Some country like some infrastructure,
Yeah.
yeah, and some entertainment facility.
Yeah. What do you mean, Jessie?
I think they will have some financial problems.
Yeah. Or what do you mean by investment? What type of investment can bring development in poor countries?
Like donating money
Yeah.
and some facilities will help them to improve their
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah. So I think everybody understood my topic. What is talking about investment in poor countries? Let's move on. Vishal took one word, and how can you relate the one word to the poor countries?
If I
There
take
are lot
charity
of
word,
words. Yeah.
if I take charity word,
Yep.
then I can relate it with this statement because as there are many rich person, so they can donate money in poor country, and
Yeah.
so this way can bring development in poor countries.
Okay. Yeah. Q. What about? Choose any one word.
Hungry.
Yeah. How can you relate to poor countries?
For countries, people usually don't have not enough money
Yeah.
for food,
Hmm?
so usually they feel hungry.
Yeah. Right. So let's move on to the presentation. Here is my outline. First, I would introduce the introduction of the topic, and the first article I will present the serving the world's poor profitably, the payoff for investment in poor countries by Prahlad Sikka and Hammond. And the second article will present by my partner. It's Broadband Maxims, written by Peter Lurie and Chris Springman. After that, we will give our conclusion about the topic, and will give you our opinion about the topic. After that, we have some interesting discussion, and in discussion I will give you some questions, and you have to give me the answers as well. Then end of the presentation, I'll show you the reference list. By references, you can get more information to know to the topic. Yes, next please. Yeah. Like no, yeah. Introduction. Let's talk about, will investment in poor countries bring development? Yes. In both the authors, they will give information. Yes. So in my first article, the talking about the private investment and the multinational companies. Private investment. What do you mean by private investment? Apil?
Private investment means the personal investment.
We can say private companies investment. Yeah.
Non-government.
Now, if any, like, if any person invest money, that's
Yeah.
called private
Private
investment.
Not
But
government.
if
Not government.
Not
invest,
government.
spend
Yeah.
money, then that's public or government.
Singly, what do you mean by multinational companies investment?
For investment, for company investment.
Like multinational companies, like we can say with have lots of branches in different countries, and in the second article we have the information about government investment. Everybody knows what mean of government investment. Next, please. The first article. Can you see this picture?
Yes.
What this picture shows us? Sterling.
I think it's about if you, the society will be developed, will be well developed if the economy
Yes.
is,
Yeah.
becomes great.
Yeah.
According to me,
Yeah.
according to these pictures,
Yeah.
I think these trees don't need any water to grow up. Only they need money.
No. It's an increase in economy.
There is an increase rate of economy.
Yeah.
Increase in
You can
economy.
show the gradual graph.
If we invest
Little
more,
money, then more money. It's increased growth of economy. Next, please. By private investment, there are the positive effects, like in poor countries, there are increase the economy, then creating jobs and wealth. Private companies establish their companies in the poor nations, so every in poor countries people can get better jobs, opportunities, and like new consumer markets, like we can say different consumers overcome in the poor nation to expand their business. Next. Yeah, we choose we can take one example like China, India, Brazil, and South Africa. Nowadays they are like developing countries because of the private investment. Through the private investment, they in these countries they can decrease the poverty, and also some social benefits they have, like they reduce the civil wars and cross-border conflicts, and also the threat of terrorism. Next, please. Yeah. What can you say in this?
Basic needs.
Yes. Right.
Needs of every people.
Hmm?
Food, transportation, home, hospital,
Yeah.
electricity.
Next, please. By
So what does
multinational-
that show, that diagram? What is the point of that diagram?
What point is it showing?
By multinational companies, they can invest in the poor's basic needs, and housing, and the some multinational, like in technologies, they can invest.
So these symbols demonstrate the basic needs
Basic
of
needs,
people.
yes.
Yeah.
The things that everyone needs, like
Yeah.
food, shelter,
Electricity.
power,
Yeah.
health,
Yes.
transportation.
Yes.
Okay, I understand.
Multinational companies can bring development in poor nations Uh, uh, Multinational companies can develop investment in basic needs and as well as goods. Basic needs means we talk about like next. Yeah. We can take one examples. In my hometown country, like in India, we have we have like in Mumbai city there are some slum parts in Shanty. It's called Shanty town. There are some people who believes that their realistic goal is not buying a house, but that their goal is buying a luxury items by they can improve their life. It's not need a house, but we need our phone. Can you live without your phone? No.
No.
Can you live without a house?
No.
But you can rent house. You don't need to buy. Yeah. So they believe that, and they spend more income into the improve their life. Next please. Yeah. Goods. Yeah. We can see the pyramid, like bottom of the pyramid we can say poor people, and top of the pyramid we can say the rich people. So in today's scenario, we thought like poor people don't have to spend more money, but it's not reality. Poor people have to spend more money than rich people, because in poor nation there are no bulk. We can say the malls, like we can say we can see here calls, Woolworths, and so poor people have to spend more money on the goods because they don't have the discounts on foods and their basic needs, and they cost more than 20 to 30% than the than the rich people. Wait. And by this, multinational companies have opportunities to establish their business in poor nation by giving higher quality of products at a lower price. So by that, poor countries can develop. So, next. Crystal, what do you see in this picture?
Picture.
Yeah.
Electronic.
Yes.
In our life, everyone to use the computer.
Yes.
Maybe the smartphone.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Next, please. By multinational companies can also bring development in poor nation through the information technologies and communications. Next, please. We can take one example, like in Bangladesh, there are rural village women. They use GSM phones. Do you know mean GSM? What do you mean by GSM? Like, no, everybody know. Like we have a PCO. You know that PCO means like public phone, we can say, and GSM means we have our phone, like with SIM cards with our numbers. It's called GSM. Okay. Yeah. So office phone. No, we have our own number with our own SIM card. So it's a GSM phone.
Like a personal phone.
Yeah, your personal phone, your personal number. Yeah, GSM phone. We can say in past years there is no personal phone. There is only the PCOs over there. No, yeah. So they use GSM phones nowadays. Even like they never use even any PCOs, but nowadays they use GSM phone as well. So they adopt the new technologies. They want to adopt new technologies. Yeah. So we can take another examples in Kenya. there are teenagers who are trained to as a web developer. Do you know web developer, website developer? We can say, yeah, they are trained to develop the web pages. Another example is in India, women of the rural villages, they are learn less than a week, less than in 1 week, they are learn how to operate the PC, like computer, how they operate the PC. So in poor nations, if we invest in information technologies, so they will bring some larger scale development by the technology communication. Low income, high buying power. Like we can take example for this. Like in Bangladesh, there are some poor people who earn less than $200 per year. It's a very low price, but they use their phone to communicate with other people. So it indicates like they believe to improve their life. If we have not money, we can take another examples like Grameen Telecom's village phones. We can say simply like I am an owner and I give you my phone, like I have a phone, I give you the phone to use, and you have to pay for that to use for you have to call, you can use my phone, but you have to pay me. So in it's like in Bangladesh they have to pay 7% of income to call per a month. Yeah. Next, please.
So are you saying the average person uses 7% of their income
Yes.
on telecommunications
Yes, on
because it's so important for them?
Yeah.
Mm.
We can see the example research data, like here is the examples of India is the slum area, and Dharw is the slum area, and Warden Road is the like we can say posh area. So you can see the differences of the percentage. Annual interest in poor people have to pay like 60% to 1,000%, while rich people have to pay like in 12% to 80%. So it's 53 times more than poor people.
Ah, so that's, excuse me, so that's poverty premium,
Yeah,
not poverty. Poverty premium.
poverty. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that generally poor people in Derby, if they borrow money,
Yeah.
they have to pay 600 to 1,000%
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
So they get a loan, but they've really got to pay a lot of money back.
Yes.
But in the West, at the time of this article, it was only 12 to 18%, and now it's probably about 6%. So rich people can get access to money from banks a lot easier than what poor people can.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
And water's cheaper too in the, water's
Yeah.
more expensive in poor countries.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Because there are no water plantation to purify, and its cost higher than the rich countries.
Mm.
It's also a phone call. You can see the differences. It's so by that we can conclude that like poor people have to pay more than the rich people. So
Mm.
we need to investment in poor countries.
Mm.
Thank you. We can my partners continue. Next.
Hello everyone. Today I will discuss about another article which is talking about the investment in the poor nation can bring or not. And the picture what you see. Yeah.
I think this is use at home. Uses technology at our home.
Yeah, that's right.
Technology connecting the world.
World, yeah. It is about the technology connecting the world. And yes, if the government invest in the telecommunication development and infrastructure development can bring the lots of benefits. Like what does mean the like telecommunication in your words? What do you mean telecommunication? Apil? Yeah. Jashi?
Use internet.
Yeah. Telecommunication means the information distribute or exchange of information like by electronic devices. And why it is need telecommunication in the poor nation? Like according to this article from the statistics, only 65 people use the telephone out of the 1,000 people in Guatemala, and whereas in the USA, 667 people use the telephone services out of the 1,000 people. This shows how difference between with richer and poor countries telecommunication used. And if the government invests telecommunication in the poor countries, it improves their life, like a cost affordable. Like if the government invests in the Wi-Fi and voice calling internet in the poor nation, it makes the telephone calls more cheaper, because due to the expensive, they do not afford the telephone service in their nations. So it is more accessible and affordable for them while investing like Wi-Fi services and the voice calling internet services in the poor nations. And after that, telecommunication leads a higher level of education. In the poor countries, people have a lack of resources, like educational materials, lack of educational materials, and not have enough extra information. So telecommunication can lead, can get the information, provide them, and become up to date, and get some extra knowledge and information through the internet. And obviously, if people get well educated, they can get more job opportunities. And telecommunication provide different types of job opportunities, like maintaining, repairing the cable lines, and different types of job opportunities they can provide. And yeah, if they get the job and they can afford the better, they can get the better money, and they can improve their health as well. In the poor countries, they don't have health professionals and medical technologies, and which affects their health. So if telecommunication, if in the rural areas they have a telephone service, they can immediately call to the health professional and call them in the emergency condition, as well as they can connect with the health professional through the internet, and it saves their like life. And let's move on to the infrastructure development. Infrastructure. What do you mean by infrastructure? What does that mean?
Infrastructure.
Yeah.
More buildings. Civil development
Yeah.
in countries.
Yeah. infrastructure means a basic, like a basic physical and organization, like buildings, roads, and
Bridges.
yeah.
Transportation.
But today I would like to talk about the road infrastructure development by investing the government. Like if the government invests the super highways and building the roads in the poor nation, it connects the road network in the neighboring countries, and they can import the materials and goods in their nations, and it will grow the nation wealth, as well as the people get the goods in a cheaper prices, while if they connect the road networks in the poor nations. And yeah, and to conclude, from according to the first article, according to the first article, the private investment and multinational companies will definitely bring some development in the poor nation by economically and providing the basic needs for the poor nations, and which improve their better lifestyle to live. And another article is about the government investment. Government investment is government investment in the telecommunication and infrastructure leads their higher level of education, improve health and education, as well as the nation's wealth as well. And in our opinion, from this topic, what if the in our opinion, in this topic, the if we need to develop nations, we need to invest you need to invest in the poor nation, because if we not invest in the poor nation, the developed nation will face the face different various various problems, such as war and cross border threatenings, and widening the gap between the rich and poor, and they have lots of like aggressiveness with the developed nations, and which create the future problems. So before the neglect the poor nations' problems, the developed nations should aware from the possible adverse effects. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the discussion questions, and we'll give you some cue cards and discuss some questions. And here you also see the questions, and we can also give you a cue card.
We have prepared a question for each group, and you have to point down some your views, and after that we have to discuss. If you can complete this, and you have to also put on this or like some key points. Okay.